Hello, sexy ladies. I have something important to say, and I know it's going to sound big, and everyone's going to hate me, but I have a few problems with 2v8. So with this 2v8, we really didn't get too much once again. However, we did get more changes than the last 2v8, which, let's be honest, the last 2v8 was kind of garbage. But here's the thing. This 2v8, I feel like we are going to the point where it's like, oh no, what are we doing? If you don't know anything about 2v8, then that's fine. I didn't really care too much about the first iteration of 2v8 with the killer side, well, for a couple until like the RE collab happened. But I just want to make this clear that you're not missing out on the last 2v8 or this new 2v8. These 2v8s are mid. Very, very mid. Alright? Because I feel like behavior has just made it so much worse, and I'm here to talk about it because why not? So let's start talking about the problems here with 2v8. The first problem with 2v8 is the lack of killers. As you can see right here in this photo, these are the amount of killers we have, up to 15 killers. Legion is the only killer who has been removed because the community does not like Legion in 2v8. Another problem with 2v8 is the lack of classes for the killer role. Keynote here, killers. Why do I say killers? Well, let's take a look at the survivor side on what they have, and I'll explain the classes alongside that. Look at that. The survivor role has 5 classes because they added a new class this time around called Torchbearer, the one on the far right. Now, let me explain the classes to you. For starters, the Escapist class is very simple to understand. The Escapist class is Sprint Burst, Windows, and Self-Care. That's about it for the Escapist class. The second class is Guide. Guide allows you to put Blast Mine on a gen, show all the generator auras within a 4-gen radius, I guess, something like Deja Vu, and Wiretap. Okay. Medic is just faster healing, obviously, it's Medic. Scout allows you to rebuild pallets, useful. And the last class is Torchbearer, where it gives you a Flashblight and Flashbang. Wow, that is very unique. Now here's the part where 2v8 really gets annoying for me. The classes that I just mentioned, there are only 2 really good classes here. Escapist and Medic. Medic allowing you to heal faster is really powerful. With the team skill, you can give a big radius that recovers 50% of your health state. Meaning if 2 medics are grouped up together and they use their team skills together, guess what? Free health state on both of the medics or any other teammate nearby. And guess what? The killers just have to deal with it. But Escapist does the same thing where it gives all survivors around you Sprint Burst when you activate your team skill, which only a few killers could counter. But the other killers who can't counter it are left there to just walk over there with a 4.6 movement speed when there's 10 billion pallets around the map. And you would think, oh, maybe the killer classes can help killers prevent those situations. No. Just no. And that's kind of like why I don't like playing 2v8 as much as playing normal DBD. Because I feel like it's so easy for the survivors to win in 2v8 nowadays than how it used to be. But let's ignore that for a little bit and let me rant about all the problems with 2v8 on the survivor side. The survivor side is supposed to, have to learn how to play against said killers. But 2v8 is so generous to the survivors that it's kind of like DBD is babying 2v8 survivors more than 1v4 survivors. And why I say this is because there are so many pallets around the map that it just feels like there's not enough learning curve for you to do anymore because of the said tens of billions of pallets around the map. And that's where it gets to a problem with the killers. The killers who have no mobility struggle so much because of the endless pallets that 2v8 has. With the big map design as well, like let's say for a Pacific killer like Trapper struggles with that because of the endless pallets. There are so many pallets that it's so goddamn annoying. But then you go play a killer like Blight and they barely struggle with the pallets. But there's a thing. Blight doesn't care too much about pallets in 1v4, but now in 2v8, he has to care more about the pallets because of how endless they are. And Scout kind of makes that even worse because Scouts can just bring back pallets. That is the big problem here. Scouts can bring back pallets that are really good, and of course, majority of the time, good Scout players will bring back good pallets because why wouldn't they? You want them to put back up a Thriller pallet? No! But then there's another problem, another big problem with 2v8. If you try to play 2v8 and think, oh, this is gonna help me learn how to play in the base game. No, it doesn't. That is another problem with 2v8. The base game is far different than 2v8. Vice versa too. Because you have to deal with actual perks that survivors or killers can use, and it ruins the flow of the game in 1v4. Like, let's say a survivor uses a full meta build. Not fun, obviously. What if all survivors use full meta builds? Not fun. Again, obviously. What if killers run 4-gen slowdown perks? Again, not fun. And that's why most people play 2v8. But then there comes the problem that I just said. You can't learn from 2v8 to play normal DBD. Behavior also keeps trying to update 2v8 and adding in more changes to it. Like, let's say they add in like new killers, new updates to classes. But this time around, what they did made 2v8 for me personally suck so much. They nerfed multiple classes for no reason, and they kind of removed the team skill part of 2v8 with the classes. Now, I know I saw someone like make a video about 2v8 and its first iteration where it was more like, oh hey, you work more with your teammates in the first iteration of 2v8 than now. And with the removal of the team classes being more teamful in the more recent iterations of 2v8, it's like, why play killer in 2v8 anymore when you have to deal with so much stress? And even with all that stress on top of like the endless amount of stuff that you have to deal with, it's like, how can you balance 2v8 correctly? And that's when I thought, how about Behavior just makes more classes for 2v8 on the killer side and for the survivor side? Like, killers have like they can block windows and pallets, like it's Blood Favor and Bamboozle, or they can and it has like some team skill, or they can have like some slowdown, a little bit more slowdown, and are able to block gens a little bit because you kind of need that in 2v8. And survivors can get more skills, like probably like a watcher. They can permanently see, well, not permanently, but they can watch killers from afar and share that with the team. Like, that would feel so nice to have instead of, oh hey, here's a flashlight and flashbang. There you go, bro. Like, that feels so much better and make it more fun. And Behavior could also start adding in more killers, like let's say Doctor, Hag, or probably Knight. And I know some people would be like, oh my fucking god, I don't want to deal with Knight. But hey, it's gonna be fine. You have other teammates too, and it's more survivor sided on 2v8. So you'll be fine. And plus, you have Sprint Burst, which you can activate whenever you want. So you're not really dealing with a big issue when Night comes to 2v8, if they even add Night to 2v8. My problem that I have with 2v8 is just like, there's not enough of anything in it. And I feel like there should be more stuff in 2v8 so people can be more like, oh hey, I want to play 2v8 more. Because for me, I don't really like 2v8 because it's so easy, the classes are boring, the gameplay dynamic isn't as fun as normal 1v4 DBD, and it's just like, I'm not learning as much as I am in 2v8 than regular DBD. And I say this because I feel like it's better for people to play 1v4 than 2v8 if you want to learn the game. And I know that some people might genuinely feel like, oh hey, 2v8's fine. And that's okay, that's fine. I don't want to judge. But I think we can all collectively say that 2v8 is not a way to learn how to play D&D. 2v8 is just for players who want to have fun and enjoy the game. And I like that too. I want to enjoy DBD. But there's just things in 2v8 that ruins like the game for me. Because as much as I want to play 2v8 and actually enjoy it, I can't get the same enjoyment out of it. I feel like behavior is just ruining 2v8 because they're not doing updates to it. They're barely doing updates to it as well. And the updates when they do make updates to it are so lackluster that it just feels so unimportant. Like, you can say, oh hey, we buffed Nemesis like they did, and no one bats an eye at the changes, because the changes aren't really that good for Nemesis. It's just, oh hey, he has 2 extra zombies. And they are annoying, yes, but they aren't as bad, or as important, I should say, as we all thought it would be. And that's kind of really how DBD is with 2v8. Nothing is that important about it. Now, I just want to end this video off saying that I don't hate when DBD has game modes. I enjoy when DBD has game modes because I love having something unique. And it's nice to get like a little refresher on playing DBD, because I don't want to play 1v4 all the time. I really don't. If there's Chaos Shuffle, Lights Out, or like, 2v8, I'll play it because I'm kind of bored of 1v4. So I just wanted to make this video stating that 2v8 needs some changes so I can so I think many people, not just me, like 2v8 more. And I think when DBD does make some actual noticeable changes to 2v8, then I'll probably like it more. But as of right now, I'm not a big fan of 2v8 anymore. I used to be when Wesker came out and they kept on adding stuff to it, and I was like, yay, this is really good. But like, I really can't enjoy 2v8 as much anymore because of how stale it is. So thank you for watching and enjoying my rant, if any of you did. If any of you have any comments to say about this, then I'll be happy to hear about it. This is my first time using software editing thing, Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm using this on my phone, so the audio will probably be shit and all that, but thank you for watching. And I just want to say, I don't post as much as I do on TikTok with YouTube, because I feel like with YouTube I just have to be like more bigger on my stuff than TikTok. So yeah, but thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day, and I hope you like what I had to hear about my problems with 2v8.